then working behind the scene, asking other donors and business community to make some intervention as it relates to our school institutions. So we thought it wise to engage the business community, improvement of the school structure, and etc. So we engaged Ali Fuani. Ali Fuani is a business guy who does business in Monrovia. I knew the father way back. Currently, I interacted with him to make some intervention. He agreed. So we came yesterday purposely to visit the campus to see some of the constraints that the school go through. We realized that the zinc of the school majority to the PSN school is dilapidated. The latrine system is lack of sewage. So as a result, we felt that it was necessary to have people to come and make some intervention. That was the essence of our visitation yesterday. The tour was done, and the gentleman agreed that he would send an assessment team to first of all engage the teaching of the route to put new zinc that will improve the area, because the current zinc that there in the roofing, it produces too much of heat for the student community. As a consequence, there is no conducive atmosphere that will enhance the learning process. And then we also agree that the paid latrine are there. We're going to ensure that since there is a pump, hand pump, to put a submersible pump into the well to ensure that the well will be the latrine will be a flush one, to alleviate some of the problems, to avoid health hazard. So we committed to that, and that was our way of identifying with the student population in Nimba. We started with the government school, which is JWPSC. So that's the purpose of our visitation yesterday on the campus.
So with that, I mean, people will be thinking whether you would be taking him to other institutions, because there are so many government schools. I know it's a beginning, but whether there's plenty in pipeline.
It's a JWPSC high school. We improve the school system, give them field lift, the administrative offices, all the reconditions. So he made a commitment to do that in subsequent days.
The issue of sanitation and hygiene is a major issue, like you said. I mean, at the level of the legislature, are you thinking of plans to propose to the national government to see how they can address the situation at the different public institutions? Because it's not only John Wesley PSC, that is filled with this kind of a problem.
Yeah, the issue of sanitation is a nationwide concern. So we engage the central government through the appropriation of budgetary appropriation. That why it is true that will be embarked on. It is given upon us also that we will find some level of assistance from donors to immediately commence the process. This is what we have done. But we are cognizant of the facts that the schools in Liberia, most especially when it comes to health, there are some constraints. So we try to engage. So to every county, start from zero. So that is our first intervention in Nimba. So we represent the people of Nimba County at the senatorial level.
So, I mean, is it something that the Ministry of Education is doing much to improve the facility? Is it how it appears to you?
Well, the issue of engagement that has to do with improvement of livelihoods is a process. Why it is true that they are cognizant of that, we cannot be insensitive to the public or to the plight of our people. So we thought it was to start that initiative.
So when that initiative will finally be started?
I think the team will be coming with a week to do assessment. I wish that it would start, but you first tour on the instant that they will start the roofing, changing the thing immediately.
Okay, now we want to take you little bit in Nimba issues. I know you are the senator of the county, and there are a couple of things we want to understand from you, beginning with the list senator fees. Where are we? Are you aware of the fees on the 28th? We have a few more days to that time.
Well, the issue of the feast, as far as my knowledge is concerned, is being postponed. The first and foremost thing that we are contemplating on has to do with the school itself.
Okay.
We observe that the children are not going to school and they are demonstrating always. So in order to solve that problem, we are engaged the president of the Republic of Nigeria. I had a meeting with him and he consented that I should write him officially requesting for the inclusion of the PYJ Polytechnic in the subsidies. And I have written a letter. The letter was delivered yesterday on Friday at the office. At the same time, we wrote the Senate, and the Senate graciously accepted our request, and there should be subsidies for the university, and they will be discussed in this budget because since the death of Senator Johnson, the subsidy that used to come was cut out since 2024 up to present. So we are embarking on that. As soon as the budget passes, there where we will come to the citizenry to inform them officially about the feast. Because without the issue of the school being addressed, it sounds so condescending that we'll come and have cattle kill and then the school issue are not being resolved. This consultation has been held across. The former president was consulted, as well as the president of the Republic and Madam Johnson. She earlier pronounced that the fees were going to be held. We advised that we should wait until we handle the school affairs first. When the children enrollment are guaranteed, and we assure them, and physically when it appears in the national budget, they will have a face to consult the elders, the citizenry of Nimba, that all of us will collectively decide on a particular date and have a feast. So the journey feast is not just an individual issue, it's collective. So there where we are, our concentration are.
So like you said, the president said you should write him special communication. The 2025-2026 budget is on the floor for discussion. Do you think the school will still be included?
And what I said, yeah, there's a conviction. The president has said it, and I'm going to have him on the support. We're going to ensure that one side is sent to that level.
But on Kogar, is subsidy even enough for the function of that institution? Sincerely.
Where they qualify are available can be qualified. We are saying to say that there is no individual in Nimba or Liberia now that is shoulder the responsibility of the institution. So the government is a bigger donors when it comes to subsidies. So this is the reason why we are focusing on the central government.
But we've been able to sit with Madam Johnson to discuss more about the institution in terms of, because the school was running prior to the death of the senator, to know whether there's a account for the institution and all of that. Senator, have you been able to do so?
Well, the issue of the account is glaring that since the subsidy, that was a focus point that enabled the school to run, is cut off. Eventually, without that, you cannot do any other thing. The issue of account, I think that is a private issue between Senator Johnson and his family. But we as a stakeholder, we should have the responsibility to ensure that whatsoever what an institution in Nimba that is not focused on, we should concentrate by including them in the national budget.
There are also some discussions surrounding the sale of that institution because it has been closed since the demise of the senator, and one Dr. Gompo, including former Chief Justice Couple and the different people, including you, you brought on the campus there for an assessment or so to see whether they can take over the institution, because you have been concerned about the opening of the school for the children to be in school. How far would this?
Well, that was a proposition, and the proposition emerged on ground that there were no source of income that would run the school adequately. So there were two proposals. The government, quote unquote, wanted to buy the school, to 2.5 million. And then the government also expressed interest to buy the school, and the discussion went up to 18 million. So there was some, according to Compa, there was some level of text mitigated against the student having to buy the school. There will be consequences, and they should be disengaged. So we had no other option to maintain the school, but to rather than the government.
So you have the government school, for example, in my university, currently the students are complaining they are yet to enter school. And even the University of Liberia, we see this government institution, they face problem daily because of limited government support. Now that the school is about to be turned over to government, or government intending to take over, do you see fortunately to serve the interest of the students? Because the school opening is one thing, and then running properly while it's open is another thing.
The running of the institution depends on fiscal domain, money. With respect to the government, whether the government has the capacity to run state-owned enterprises, university, like Nimba, as you said. Nimba University has some source of income, ArcelorMittal doing some contribution, as well as the national government. But the issue currently at the university in Nimba is not basically on the funder to run the school, but the teachers are saying that there is disparity in the payment of faculties. For example, they say people in Monrovia, some are making 1.5, 2,000, and etc. So for them, some of them are making $400, $500. So they have the same qualification. So for them to be making 400, while the other are making 1,500, is where the problem is. So in order to enroll, we are trying to ensure in the government, the budget as well, that the harmonization of salary of university instructors be adhered to. So far, so good.
So, so now let me take you to these issues that of recent I heard you on Radio Nimba, that the appointment of the Mines and Energy Minister replacing Nimba man with another Nimba man, and you have little issue with that in concern. Are you going to work with him, or do you still have some issues?
Well, the issue being expressed is not why Nimba were appointed or nominated, but we were speaking from experience. We were talking about the issue of bringing some level of unity among us as Nimba. Article 56A of the Constitution provides that anybody that is nominated by the President, subsequently confirmed by the Senate, and appointed by the President, work at the pleasures of the President. So this Minister of Minister P has a constitutional right as a President. But where we were looking at was, for example, as you may recall, this one election, they said there should be balances in terms of government employees or elections. So it was based upon that 2024 I lost the election because Senator Johnson was seated as a Guillaume, and then he wanted a non-man to balance. Though it's unconstitutional. But when policy derived from people who were Guillaume appointed for the position of less in my estate is made, it was our anticipation that it should be replaced by a Guillaume. That was my concern. But that does not mean that if a Nimba man succeed, it's a problem. No. My concern was that would have been done if sufficient consultation was done. Nevertheless.
So you are speaking in line with the balance of power in the country.
Exactly. So I been that I was not in support. I wouldn't have confirmed him. I presided over the confirmation. Once he presided, I was one of those who were in the hearings. And so he was subsequently confirmed by the Senate. So it is part of our collective effort. So we don't have problem, but the only thing we were talking is that the issue of balance to have brought some level of disunity or fraction among us. For example, if the people of Bredege felt that one of their sons is in a hierarchy at the echelon of power, and then you remove and you put somebody different from different tribe, the other on the other side will be jubilating, and the other on the other side will be dilated and dissatisfied. So we're just trying to mitigate to see how best those things can be sorted out. But nevertheless, man proposes, God disposes. So our ability as a leaders of the country to ensure that we sufficiently educate our people to bring normalcy, I think is a hallmark. So we appreciate the appointment. So we are not against it.
So, Senator, what do you make of the dismissal of the former Nelson Man minister? Do you think it was a rightful decision by the government?
It's a constitutional mandate. The Constitution provides as a dear quota that whosoever that is appointed by the president will work at the pleasure. So he can appoint you today and wake up today and say, you don't want you. It's constitutional. You cannot question that.
One upon a time, before letting go of you, sir, you talk about the chiefs and elders have been intimidated by some government officials in the country, and you are kind of a vocal on that issues.
And just a follow-up, they're not playing that neutral role they should play in hearing different issues between sons and daughters of the country.
Well, in the first place, I said, whenever you are a chief and place on government payroll, your neutrality is questionable. So our focus should be on others that are not on payroll. Those that are on payroll, one who don't fear nothing. It will be able, if Samuel Kogar is wrong, he will look in your face and say you're wrong. But the chief cannot do that because they will always look at seniority. Whether the B-man does wrong or not. For them to tell the B-man say you're wrong, it will be difficult because one, you can't him on to dismissal as chief because you're on the payroll. So your independence is questionable, like what I said. But chief is a position by constitution that is supposed to carry out their fiduciary responsibility. But when it comes to dialogue, where traditional norms and values are adhered to, the people who uphold to the culture and value system of our country or country are the elders.
So, Senator, there has been rumor that Senator Kogar is trying to join the CC to go as a vice director 2029.
You said rumor. Rumor is a speculation.
Okay.
People perceive. Perception is different from legality. When I have come over,
and I remember when you visited the former president.
That's a myth. In the first place, I'm a senator of the country. And besides that, I work at the national level. I'm a stakeholder of the country. And the former president was a president who served this nation. And his house got on fire. He decided to sympathize with him. It's not forbidden. Article 13 of the 1986 Constitution provides that every citizen had a right at all times to move freely, leave the country and come back and reside any part of Liberia they want to. So based on that doctrine, it is my right as a senator to associate myself with somebody who I felt is a state person that was victimized by fire outbreak. So I don't think there is any issue with that. So it got nothing to do with joining the Congress for Democracy, the Congress for Democracy change, CDC. No. I'm a full-fledged member, executive member, senior partisan of MTR. So in the first place, before you decide to go join another political party, you must first of all resign from the party initially. Then you can make a new decision whether you want to support another party or you want to be a full-fledged member of a party. So those things happen, and in a grapevine, politics, people politic with everything. But my conscience is very clear, and I'm willing to work with any political party. As we did to Unity Party, we are not members of the Unity Party, but we are a party that decided to support the cause of the Unity Party. So is it a crime? I don't think so. So we can associate ourselves with any political party.
And a few days back, you said this government is corrupt, and the corruption and corrupt government officials in this particular United Party government are very careful. That's the reason why people are not really seeing the corruption as, like under we are administration.
Well, in every government, there are corruption cases always. So when we see it out as a public figure, we got to flag it.
But do you see this government corrupt? Corruption still exists?
You see, corruption is not necessarily eating money. Any act unethical. You understand? As I said here before, if other people who doesn't understand government, if they see the superintendent building, renovating superintendent compound, commissioner compounds, statutory district headquarters compounds, you understand? They will say she's doing extremely well. But equally so, does the money that is being used for government belong to the government? No. The money for the county. You have a lot of deplorable road conditions all over across Nimba County. That the farmer cannot take the goods to market easily. And more besides, the government just came out for executive order banning all unprocessed rubber leaving the country. And Nimba is one of the areas that got huge rubber farms all over the county. So if the money, there was consultation with the citizen, we would have suggested that the government or the county social development fund some be taken to buy rubber processing plants. Put it in 3 electoral districts, and you assign 3 districts each, that whosoever that get rubber from the farm is carried to this place to process it. In that, those farmers will be paying fees to process the rubber. That money will be coming to the county account. It's turning around. If the county decided that, look, we can purchase 40 acres of land in each cities in Nimba County and build real estate. That real estate, there will be income coming. Because those that will rent those places or lease it will be paying tax or fees, real estate tax or fees to this county. And that money will be placed in the national budget, in the county account. Like for instance, sending some children who may be in the nursing field out as Nimbayan. And you sign a contract with them that when you go and learn, you will come and first of all serve the Nimba people for 2 to 3 years. It will alleviate some of the problems. So these are things that will...
So the superintendent is wrong to do that? To renovate government?
It's wrong. On grounds
when you raise that issue, she said the local government act permitted her...
No, the local government act talk about county council. The county council function is the citizen should make a decision and then submit to the county council as a blueprint for the county development. When that blueprint is presented to the superintendent, she implements. But I challenge you, there was no resolution in the county that said that you take our money and build a superintendent compound. We use the word superintendent compound is government project, as you all may be aware. So how can you take money that the Ministry of Internal Affairs ought to have budget for and spend our money to that? It's wrong. For example, the mountain you talk about today, Nimba, is then depleted. Every day you see the train passing going, right? Mm-hmm. But the incoming generation, as a country that receiving 1.5 million, what will be the narrative to our incoming generation tomorrow? That the mountain there was once a mountain here, but the mountain now depleted. So what left with Nimba County is what the constraint is. A Sudan compound is an asset. The asset there for government. If you renovate the county, if you took the county money and renovate the Sudan compound, for example,
and make the county beautiful.
No. It is the responsibility of the government. There where you will see where the government party manifesto is being adhered to. Before you are elected, you make pledges to the citizens that I will do XYZ. Infrastructure that belong to government. Can Nimba sell the Sudan compound? You can sell it out to make money. If you had a rubber processing plant here, it will improve the farmer sector. And then the road connectivity, the road market to farm roads can be adhered to as well. That's where I'm speaking from.
Now the dry season is here, Senator, and all of these things you say is very important. are you planning to sit with the superintendent or invite her maybe to, because a Nimba issue, the Nimba development we're talking about?
Currently, what we are anticipating is to change the law under no condition that the Constitution Article 34 says that every appropriation, making coins, printing currency, declaring war, creating boundaries and counties, administrative district, it is the sole responsibility of the legislature. So if the legislature approve that 1.5 should be given to Nimba based on the exploration from Yukipa, and it's passed by by the House, and it becomes law, when you are spending that money in the country, the lawmakers should also have oversight to ensure, because they represent the district. So in that light, if you are using the money unilaterally without the acquiescence of the lawmaker, you also contravene the Constitution.
So are you thinking of bringing a county council sitting?
The county council sitting will want to do amendment, and it's in process as I speak.
So
In Nimba, you talk about 9-man council, but currently you have 7 persons working. So it means that it's incomplete. It's a violation as well. So it means that the money is not appropriately used. County council, say 9-man council. I want you to see the formation now. There are 7 members. So how can you effectuate when the law says, the same law you're defending says that there should be 9-man council? And the 9-man council is not seated by
So who's ought to appoint the 9-man council?
The 9-man council supposed to be elected among themselves.
Okay.
The parliament chief will go together and decide who to be on the council. The youth will have election to see who to represent them. You understand? The civil society and other outlets, they are responsible. When that is consummated, they should go through election commission magistrate in the country to know their qualification. But in the county setting, it did not, or in the council, there is nothing there that says a county council should be qualified by this. Parliament chief, there is no criteria for parliament chief. Whether you own a farm and your way of life is supposed to be good to elect you as a parliament chief. But you do not have, you are not knowledgeable to budgetary appropriation, and you own a council. How do you spend our money that you don't know anything about? These are some of the things we want to correct.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.